Hey dumplings, it's Dave Decide. Today we have a boss man of his own show telling BTS to leave and this crazy story. We also have new circulation of Suga and his orientation being talked about. And then we have Jung Kook scolding a specific fan, which is funny. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, hey spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. People have been missing BTS so much lately that it's not just that BTS is actually away or that the specific members are not doing anything, because RM just dropped us with bombs of content, but more so that the idea that since Jin is going to the military and that we won't see BTS as a group for a while seems to be a reality. Armies have tried to watch old content to feel like BTS is back and a group right now. No worries, BTS will be back as a group before you know it. Armies, we're talking about a specific Run BTS episode 133. This reality show that BTS hosts is a show where we get to see the boys become extremely candid. They play games and are hilarious because we see their reaction when parts of the game don't go as planned, and they've even done zombie episodes where they get scared by zombies, and it's hilarious to see these moments because when you're scared, that is your true self. You can't pretend to be cute or put on a persona when you're genuinely scared. And a lot of the BTS ARMY memes come from Run BTS episodes. And we do react and fangirl over to some of these episodes on Patreon, so if you want to join and see what all the commotion is about, I will link the Patreon below in the description. I hope to see you there. Now, in episode 133, this is the workshop episode where the members sit at a computer and they try to see who can find past Run BTS episode content the fastest. Their main way of doing this was going to be through articles written about the episodes and then ARMY content in blogs and things like that. And again, what's great about these episodes is you get to see the boys super competitive. Jungkook received a handicap or a penalty for this competition, but he definitely wanted to still win and beat the other members. It was absolutely hilarious when everyone realized what the handicap was, which is a huge keyboard, like bigger than the table, and to press the letters you need your whole palm. It was a concern if the keyboard would even be compatible with the computer they're plugging into, but it was, and it was really funny to see Jungkook use it. The question that the producers were giving out that the members had to look up was what was the name of the 3 members from a previous Run BTS episode. And I don't know the rules of this, and if it's like that they have to find a blog that references it, or if they know the answer, can they just say it? But RM actually found out very quickly as he found an ARMY blog that was documenting that episode in question. And so RM quickly blurted out the answer, which was Bear, V, and Hyuk. And quickly they showed the blog that RM got the answer from, and it turned out to be a Jungkook biased blog that mainly showed love and support to Jungkook. However, ironically, since the blog was the one that helped RM, Jungkook actually lost. Jungkook then turned to the camera and said if this was a real Jungkook fan, then the fan should have helped him and not RM. And Jungkook squinted his eyes at the camera to scold this specific fan, basically implying the fan doesn't love any of the members except RM, which of course is not the ARMY's fault. They had no idea that RM would be on the blog, and I think that was probably a shock that RM and not Jungkook would have ended up on the blog. Of course, I was on the floor laughing. This was so funny, and I think we are all about to see a lot more of these moments come to resurface and be talked about within the next few weeks or months. And we even currently seemingly have a rise in people talking about their interactions with BTS. There's been people who have been open recently on their run-ins with BTS, and specifically I wanted to get into a boss man or radio host who was very mean to BTS in both their earlier days. The radio show that this host was made for was Park Myung Soo, and this was a show that BTS seemingly was a big fan of at the time. Myung Soo has an impressive resume and a really good career as a host, singer, TV personality, etc. More recently, he came out to talk about his love of BTS and how he actually really likes the group, as well as talked about his daughter's wish to marry a BTS member. Myung Soo has also talked about BTS's discography like Dynamite and just the boys receiving recognition from Billboard being so impressive. These praises appear to me an attempt to appeal to ARMYs for his show rather than him actually liking the group. As he revealed himself on his show, he once rejected BTS's advances and was quite rude to BTS. Apparently back in 2015, BTS ran into Myung Soo in the airport bathroom. BTS asked for a photo, Myung Soo replied asking them to just go, as in no photo and please leave. Now, to give him the benefit of the doubt, there's many reasons why a lot of Korean celebrities refuse photos. There's a lot of specifically really crazy K-pop fans that will often disguise themselves as haters and take the picture to later post saying that the idol they met was a bad person. And the internet and other fans are quick to believe anything, especially if you have a photo with the idol. So you can say that the idol tried to touch you and people would believe. So a lot of idols just don't take pictures. That alongside the image of the idol can get distorted. Let's say the idol just wasn't camera ready. These reasons are likely why BTS refuses to take photos with ARMY. but are okay with dropping their autograph. However, the rude response that Myung Soo apparently gave was uncalled for, even if that was the case, because you can simply say, sorry, no, but let me give you an autograph, which is exactly how BTS says it, and they're always so kind with it. And I'm assuming they're kind because they know how it feels to be rejected so rudely. Myung Soo claimed that the next time they met, Myung Soo knew who BTS was and was excited to take a photo, and claimed that the reason he did not take a photo and regretted not taking a photo with BTS in that bathroom was because Myung Soo didn't know BTS would be so successful, which bothers me a lot. If you don't know who the boys are, that makes it okay for you to act rudely or tell them to leave. The only reason I could think this would be acceptable would be if Myung Soo saw the 7 boys and was just like, no way this photo will be used right, so he just refused. But the idea that Myung Soo would treat the average day-to-day person like you or me like garbage if we meet him is quite sad to me. I don't think anyone that is a radio host specifically should feel all high and mighty. Radio hosts literally are for the people. You're not even really entertainers, you're just giving the news and then playing the song. I don't mean to diminish a radio host because they do great work, but it's not a job where you should get full of yourself. Not that there is one. But being humble will get you far. Look at how far BTS has gotten with being talented and humble. People just want to work with them because of that. Even if one day BTS is not as famous anymore, people will still want to work with BTS because they're easy and nice people to work with. That goes for the members' collaborations on their solo work, and it shows that people are happy to work with them. And then we have random smaller projects like their photofolios where they seemingly had to gather their own team and put the concepts together. And actually Suga recently dropped his photos that seemingly are from the photofolio, and people have been losing their mind. Suga looks so awesome with his long hair and so gorgeous. Of course, since Suga is being talked about and went viral over these photos, people have been bringing up older moments, and moments that is talked about now is Suga's sexuality. I get it. You looked at these photos and then you're like, I want to marry him, but could he be gay and won't have a chance? Well, an old interview came back when it was asked what Suga's girlfriend type is. This was not in English, and a lot of Asian places, the idea of gay and LGBT stuff is not even considered because it's rude to call someone gay. So the default is to assume that they're straight because that is the kinder thing to assume in these places. So that is what the interviewer said. Suga's answer was translated to English to say that he values personality and the atmosphere, and continued to say that he does not have a type and it's not limited to a girl. The limited to a girl part went crazy viral, and people were like, Suga has nail polish. But again, this is a translation thing, and what I could see as even an alternative here is that Suga could have said he doesn't have a type limited to a specific girl, because that line of sentence is way more of a straight line of thought. Because if he was bi, then a girl is definitely his type, which means he could just answer what his female type is and leave the male part up to speculation. But to put your sexuality in a question that wasn't even about it seems not like a normal way of talking. It's like, what's your favorite shopping center to go to? And you respond, I'm vegan. However, I don't know exactly what the translation actually is, and what many people who do read and speak the language claim that the viral translation is correct. So I don't know. If it is correct, that would be the first BTS member to even claim any LGBT sort of thing, and people think that this was Suga's way of just answering the question of if any of the members are gay. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos. The link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.